J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 Mini Bites here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is up? It's a new week, and it's starting here with the Mini Bites 203. And I'm your host, J.M. Anacoris, and let me just say this, it's good to be back. Oh, man, what a busy time. But I'm going to tell you this, I'm here for it, man. Like, I've been doing a lot of things. I've been at a crossroad with a lot of my inner thoughts and everything about stuff, you know. There's been people out there sitting around. They got bitter. They left they left a few of their own shows and their own productions. And me, on the other hand, I'm still holding on, you know. And let's just be honest. I'm having a great time. Shit. Like, I'm starting from zero again. But here's the thing. Lots of people are coming in. More people are coming back. This stuff's starting to grow again like it's supposed to. It ain't bad. You know, it's going to take a little bit more work than usual, but I'm loving it. This is what I'm here for, you know? But today's episode, we're supposed to be talking about what bitterness taking root and stuff like that. But I also mentioned that you can't hold on to the past. You got to crush it. You got to let it go. I mean, if anything else. But you see, the truth is, the problem with bitterness and stuff, after a period of time, it'll take root in you. Like, resentment is what keeps that stuff solid. Like, you know, there are certain people that are floating around, like, that started their own live streams, that started their own summer programs and stuff like that. And, you know, there's times where, like, see, dealing with jams, we all kind of work with the same people. And it's interesting. I keep saying, hey, any newer musicians out there, anybody that's been in the game for a while and getting back into it, I like a whole collectives of musicians coming into J360 jams, and I also like the people who keep coming back. Nothing but the utmost respect. It's amazing. In addition to, like, the same people that want to be involved in Project Conference, you know, other filmmakers, other writers, other artists, and that's always a good thing too, you know. But you see, the thing about it is that, like, more and more people, they feel as though their voices are, like, stifled. They feel as though, like, people don't listen or care what they do, so they quit. And I always look at it like this. It's like, well, you're going to have to be a little bit more than an introvert. See what I'm saying? Or you're going to have to be a little bit more than somebody who is afraid of people laughing at their voice. You just have to step it up. And, you know, like, sometimes when you're not comfortable, your comfort zone is the one that kills you in the end. You see? You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know a lot of people can't handle that. Even if they've been in the game long enough. Because they're always afraid of the path of most resistance. And there are no real rules of engagement anymore. Everybody has, like, problems with somebody else is what I'm saying. And for me, myself, I you know, I've been at this for a while now, but I also know, like, you know, and let's just keep it small. Like, let's say, like, working on a project with somebody, you know, and I made a whole episode called No Integrity where I talked about that particular individual. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, all the copycats of the world and all that stuff. I mean, things are oversaturated to the point where people are just desperate. And I noticed that a lot of people are really desperate for fame, or they're desperate for, like, other sources of income, or they're just really, really fucked up about it. They go and they do dirty tricks in the book, and they're not really your friends. And the truth is that there are some people that have a hard time understanding the people that have been around them for a very long time. Hung with them, ate with them, all that kind of stuff. They're not their friends. They're just people out there looking out for themselves, and they'll do what they can. As soon as they realize they can't get enough from you, they're going to go someplace else. And they're going to try to take from those other people. And they do. And as they do take from other people, and as they get what they want, which you denied them, they're going to be a problem. And it's really, really a shame, too, because, you know, like, say, like, I could have stopped doing jams a long time ago. I could have stopped doing, like, a lot of the programs a long time ago. But I didn't want to. You know what I mean? I like doing what I do. I mean, I even made an episode about that. I'm going to do my own thing, thanks. Because I had a lot of experts coming in trying to give me advice. And I was like, fuck you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like them people that show up that send you emails. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you other creators out there get emails all the time where people are like, hey, we cracked the algorithm code, or hey, we figured out YouTube. Yeah. See, it's not the early 2000s anymore, man. Fuck you, all right? YouTube doesn't work like that anymore, and they will happily let you know that. They're not cultivating for the future. If you notice this, like, all these things are not cultivating for people to take center stage. They're still over there. Some people are still, like, all around, like, people like Markiplier or people like, PewDiePie. Well, nowadays it's Mr. Beast. But even then, like I said, after his stuff starts to wane, who you think? Like, they're going to keep running around them same groups. You yourself, you have to figure out what you do differently. And you rise up. I had like one time somebody try and explain niche marketing to me. I'm like, I know what the hell niche marketing is. But you see, the thing about it is, I'm not one dimensional. I'm not trying to sound like everybody else. I do things differently. You know, it's kind of like comparing Jams to Night Ride FM, any of their shows or whatever. I could give a damn, but I also know like a lot of my people that I brought together in Jams, they wormed their way over there because they couldn't get what they wanted. See what I'm saying? You got to understand, like, the difference between achieving something and people pleasing. And the problem is that people don't like it when you have boundaries. It's exactly what Sharon Stone said in that video. It's like, they don't like it when you have boundaries. They don't like it when you put up that, no, you cannot dictate to people who are running their shows of how they run their shows and what they do. My whole pet peeve a long time ago was when I was doing work. And this is where I was working with firms or where I was working in like college groups and all, where I was doing the work and then some asshole that's in the group decides to think that, oh, I did all this work. Oh, we're going to do great things. It ain't a we moment if I'm doing like 80% of the shit. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's even by just coordinating with other people, you know, to keep the whole thing afloat. There are people out there who are just parasites. Disgusting people. But you see, the thing about it is you can't let it make you better, but you have to say something. And you have to be a leader, and you have to be like direct about it and be like, this is not the way this works and stuff. And if they whine about it, this goes to show how entitled they are. I've seen a lot of people like get entitled about things. I had a female one time who, she was a good director per se, but at the same time, you know, she was over there complaining about like how she couldn't make like certain films or she couldn't write certain things. Like I was stifling her. And the truth is that I wasn't. She didn't have anything when we had meetings. And then she wanted to make some stupid Ninjas in Suburbia kind of thing. It's dumb. But at the end of the day, like, I never saw a copy of that script, and my VP at the time, Mondo, he didn't see a copy of the script, and we were all playing Halo and stuff like that because, you know, in a way, how do you get ideas and stuff like that? You get people engaged in things. It's the same way businessmen play golf. But she didn't understand that. So when you got people who don't take the time to understand how a corporate culture or a structure works, no matter how unorthodox it could be. Like, companies do a lot of unorthodox things all the time to come up with concepts, you know? And what's really, really messed up about a lot of the things is I could go ahead and tell you about some of the stuff that I created to come up with things, but I won't. All I'm saying is that, like, when you're dealing with people, if you can't adapt and if you can't, like, you know, give to something, you're not going to get anything out of it. And, like, when certain people were on, you know, when certain people work with me in jams, they try to dictate, like, how jams should go or how all this other stuff should be or, like, how to get more and more people in. And it's like, it's not rocket science. If you like the show and everything, share the show, regardless if you're on it or not. If you like to see J360 Productions grow, you know, support it. Like, we have a Ko-fi account. We have, like, a channel that's booming and everything. I mean, even if you're not going to be a monthly subscriber, you can still, you know, support that way if you'd like to. And then you can always reshare and stuff like that. It's not hard, is what I'm saying. But, like, I'm going to keep showing up every week for me and my goals and all the things that I'm doing. And, you know, much in the same way, the people that work with me inside J360 Productions and those like, you know, Marco and Mustafa and everything, that's part of the group. That's a wonderful thing. But you see, there's too many people out here that think that, people are snatching away work and bread from them, opportunities, all this other stuff. And in some cases, it might be true, but in other cases, it's not. You know what I mean? There's always, and you see this in a lot of rock bands anyway growing up, there's always that one person in the band that did all the work, but gets none of the respect, none of the treatment. And that's where a lot of resentment comes in. I think a long time ago, the Van Halen brothers had a problem with David Lee Roth, right? Think about it. Like, there are people who are frontmen and, hype people and showpieces. And then there are people who do the work, do the transactions, do the writings, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the guys of Pink Floyd, for God's sake, they're still fighting to this day. And then even here in the indie game with a lot of content creators and all, like, some people put on their special. I mean, like, how do I feel about people that go to that Summer Bash shit? Honestly, I don't have a problem with it. But I don't like the guy who runs it. Because at the end of the day, he was a protege of mine and he's a fucking idiot. But, like, I'm allowed to say that, though. You see? But in terms of, like, where we go as a people, I put that aside. I'm doing my own thing, as always. I'm living my life. I got pretty much a lot of cool things happening. And then not to mention, there are things that I cannot tell you guys about because, that's some top-level stuff. But it's just like, one way or another, you can kind of feel the resentment because there are people out there who go to other shows and stuff like that, and they act like your show doesn't matter. They act like you don't matter. They act like all that stuff. But let me tell you this, you do matter. The art you do does matter. And people will always try to come up with more and more shit to block you back. And it's so sad. It really is. Like, I wrote a few things on Instagram not too long ago. Now, I'm okay, mind you. Like, my spirits are up and I'm positive about things. But I had to write those things of concern because I know that there's people out there that feel that way. I know there's people out there who don't have people who speak for them. And see, the sad part about it is their names will be brought up, but they'll be brought up in other derogatory things. I'm sure my name is from time to time. They'll be in groups I will never be a part of and I will never see. And I don't give a shit. I'm here for me. Like, if you know, like, what about J360 Radio, if you know about J360 TV, or if you know about J360 Productions as a whole, that's me. And my crew. And the people that want to work with me. You know what I'm saying? And I got to be there every day to build it. And I have no shame in that responsibility. That means something to me. It's just like when something means something to you, are you going to let other people just crowd in and take it away from you? No, you're not. If you really wanted something in this world, you're not going to let that stuff come together. Like, I've seen people's egos and I deflated them. I've seen people's entitlements and I proved them wrong. I've seen people come and go throughout all these things. I've seen people lose everything because of simply wanting to be loved and adored by people. But people are fickle. Any wonder why I act the way I do sometimes? Because people are fickle. And at the end of the day, I have too much self-respect to be kissing the pavement or, just laying in the fetal position in a crater somewhere thinking about what other people have done that came through J360 Productions or anything. And it's really, really a tough story and kind of tough to take, but that bitterness will take root in you if you don't get rid of it. And the truth is that it should be the shows that do the talking. It should be a lot of the programming that should work. Like, we did great with 87, and actually we did great with a lot of the shows that ran through here. And then not to mention, like, all the other stuff that's coming a little bit later because, hey, it's high time, baby. I mean, if you've been paying attention, all Project Conference episodes went up, but now we got to go ahead and make the transition with another set of episodes going over there because that is the interview show. And, I want to get more people on that program because this is community building. That's a program that exists for a good reason. Like I said, I can't save everybody. I can't love everybody, but I can do my best. And I'm not hard to work with. Hell, I make everybody better. I know what I do. All right. Oh, speaking of which, Jams 88, we can extend this one, but Jams 88 is happening next Friday. So any of you musicians that want to be a part of history, want to be a part of getting your name out there, getting your voice out there, getting some airplay, or having a good time, which you can do all of that, whether you're here live or not, email j360jams@gmail.com. That is the best way your stuff can get on the show, and that's the best way you can contact me. And I need you to be less shy or less arrogant. And me, on the other hand, I won't be an asshole. You know what I mean? It's all about working together as a team. And then not only that, as I said before, if you start to notice how I'll be like, hey, you can support us on Ko-fi if you want to. The whole point is that businesses do not thrive on beers and hugs. They thrive on money. Granted, the price is low, so you can go ahead and do a one-off if you want to, or you can do monthly if you like to enjoy the content that's going to be on the premium channel. But here's my whole thing, though. There are some programs that will not be available on YouTube. Matter of fact, let me talk to you about YouTube. Well, I did earlier. I said fuck YouTube, so it really doesn't have its impact anymore. But it's true, though, because there are moments where, when you want to get really creative and YouTube doesn't want no part of it, what does it do? It buries it in the algorithm. That whole liking and subscribing thing, that's supposed to help everything. But even then, the subscription counts ain't there no more. It's really about viewership and listenership and all. And I'm not begging you to do this thing, mind you. I'm just saying, for me or any creator out there, that's how we grow. The liking and all, and the downloads and everything. The downloads have been very significant, though. I will thank you for that. And actually, I thank any of you guys who tune in every week and like my adventures or any of the stuff that goes on around here, the news updates. So, I appreciate that. I feel that love, I will never be saying, guys, I need my stuff here. Yeah, you got to go ahead and give me more money. Yeah, that's the way it's only going to work. Yeah, right. But all in all, though, this is the time. This is great. We can all rebuild. And deep down, if you don't want to be replaced, you got to be here. And I noticed that a lot of people are going through things a lot rougher than me. Not everybody's like me. Not everybody likes me, and I'm not for everybody. But I got to stay the course. I got to keep on going. You know what I mean? I know it sounds like a lot of me, but I know that there's a lot of y'all that feel that way. I know there is a lot of y'all out there who really feel gypped by the system and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, you got to kill that resentment, all right? I mean, you can forgive and you can let go, but I know you can't forget, right? I know you can't. That's just life. But like I said, the shows need to do the talking. The art needs to do the talking. Be about that, okay? Like your movies. Any of y'all out here, y'all probably afraid of your movies being locked in some stupid distribution deal. And I'm telling you, that's terrible too. It really is. And, they make a lot of money. It's really, really fucked up here on the independent side. But you got to weave through it. And then you got to know exactly what you need to do to maintain. Because some people can barely make that one movie. But if you can make that one movie and you can make your money from it, or you can look at other outlets and stuff, which is why the VOD market is important. Remember this, okay? You got to look at all avenues of this stuff. That's to my fellow filmmakers out there, because J-Man's coming back, and truth be told, I'm playing the game a lot differently. But that's a story for another time. As for everything else, the J-Man show is happening tomorrow. And because there isn't a Jams this time, we're going to give you 2 J-Man episodes this week. And then, of course, like I said, submissions are open for Jams. So, don't be shy, y'all. Alright? But until then, J-Man's got to get off this thing. Y'all take it easy. And like I said before, let go of your bitterness, for it'll choke you up. Alright? This is J-Man signing off. Peace.